It has been a while. Over a year has passed since I have touched Cities Skylines 2, and this is the perfect moment to jump back in. The first patch of the brand new studio, Iceflake Studios, has launched, and people have been saying there's a lot good happening, so we are here to test this out. By now, you should have noticed that my face does not match what I'm saying. This is because we have got two different audio layers. So if you want to listen to the editing Rudy, who's basically commenting what I've been doing wrong during my Let's Play, you're gonna switch to the second audio layer. If you want to experience the Let's Play, just like straightforward, couple of cuts here and there, but just enjoying the game, you stay with me on the first audio layer. I just recently discovered this feature and I found it very cool to just have a bit of a double layer and just commenting on what I noticed afterwards. So I will be focusing on playing, and who's interested in all my thoughts about the patch and all the update and how this game feels now, because you know I've been doing quite a lot at the beginning of the lifespan of this game, you guys can listen to Editing Rudy, who's also just brabbling in front of you right now in one kind of tiny corner. I gotta put him, which I don't know why. But yeah, as for what we're building, we are here on a prefab maps. This is Koblenz in the wonderful region of Germany. I always thought about wanting to go to the Ruhrgebiet, because the German Ruhrgebiet is something I really do love and hate at the same time. But again, more of that will be in Editing Rudy's voiceover. We are going to build a little cozy town over here. I've got a certain idea to, you know, be very cautious on the progress, but we are going to try to make our way at least to purchase a second tile. That should be our milestone for today. But let's go and have a bit of a fun starting point. We go in easy mode, you know, I just want to get myself back into the game. We've got the new UI enabled, and now we're going to try our best. So we do have a 4-lane road over here available. I think that might actually be already too big. Large road, medium roads. I would love to go with another one. Do we have like a, look at that, we have to go to a 3-lane asymmetric 2-lane road. I think we're gonna go first of all with the classic 2-lane road. You know, that one started over here. It's actually kind of a nice idea to have a one-way road. We're gonna make like a one-way road a little bit around the city. You know, that's what I want to do. First things first, goes like, actually, you know what, I'm just gonna use that one. I can build a nicer radius with that one. Yeah, that's cool. I'm not going to try to go too overly crazy right now at the beginning, but I'm just going to try my best. I could have used the parallel road tool, right? That would have been, I mean, it's in game right now. I could have just used that one. Ah, dang it. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna really quickly do this. That was stupid of me to not use that. See, this is all I forgot about this game already. But yeah, let's go into the parallel road tool, and then it should just, wait, hold on. Let me just align this properly. Okay, well, can I okay, do the distance of 0.5. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That is it. And then we can just meander this around. Go a bit of a sharp turn here. I'm just going to try already to plan a little bit ahead where I want to have some roads go, you know, just around the town. And then just about here should be a nice spot to go around here. And then we can actually hug that one all the way here. We just go all the way straight. And I also got to check, we're going to put the wind. So let's just first of all quickly check out on our industrial region. So the wind goes all the way down. This is where we have, oh, look at that. This is where we have groundwater availability. So that's not where we should put our industry. Okay, the layout is done. I am quite satisfied. I just give you a brief rundown. We do have basically our living quarters to be planned in here. We do have our commercial stuff in the center basically, and we have a bit of space to enlarge this if required over there. And we do have our industrial zone down here. It's gonna be a little bit of a tricky one because, yeah, I think this small tile is not really giving us too much space to work with because of all the low residential that is going to be asked for. But we can see we also in the realms of you know, doing these things, I reached the next level, so I'm going to spend a couple of points. But this time around we should definitely go onto the water treatment plant. Simply because we have no water for using dumpsters or some sort, and we also do need to go for a hospital relatively soon. That's something I do want to do rather quickly. And then we also go for a recycling center. You can see I put already a landfill down. I put some underground water pumping stations in, the coal plant, as you've seen, and a couple of smaller things. Now let's zone a couple of things and hit the play button. You can see demand is actually coming in, as you can see, but we are going to zone a couple of things. So first things first, we're going to zone industrial area so that jobs coming in. Actually, you know what, it's just going to be painful. We're going to basically zone all of this. There's no need to hold back actually for this region. We will need this as required space anyways, so this is what they are going to fill in real quick. And they say backed up sewer. The sewer system is not able to drain the wastewater. Yeah, I know, because we don't have anything to sewer it into, which is something we need to figure out sooner than later. So I guess we can do this with a water treatment plan, right? As we have discovered that one. We can plop this down. Oh my god, is it working here? No, it's not. Then let's just find a space for that sooner than later. It's gonna put this here. That should work, I guess, and that should actually help us to upgrade. What's that? Extra processing unit in facility. Oh my, 100,000 filter system. Yeah, we're gonna need this filter system. We can place one here. Okay, close that one. Hopefully it's gonna help. And the other one, can we put the other back up? No, we can't. So that has to go here. For the moment, that solves our issue. But we gotta have to check out how much that is. Not really a load, right? Oh, sewage treatment. Oh, that's fine. For now, it's fine. Production, it's gonna be a little bit of a pain at some point. But for the moment, it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna pause the game so it's not going to run into too many issues. We are going to place down the low residential EU for a bit, which is going to be something I want to have here mostly. And then let's use the fill bucket for the rest of these. That is going to be for our wonderful commercial zone. So it's going to place a couple more here. I want to also have mid-density somewhere here closer to these, but that is definitely low residential, what we have over here, specifically through these things everywhere. So I'm just going to place them in these little corners. That can be medium density as well, so I'm going to place the low density. Also, we can use some UK houses. Or what's that? This is the EU medium density, which there's also Germany somewhere in here. Yeah, that's the German medium density, which I am willing to fill in the open spots here next to the biggest streets. Actually, let's zone this a bit more careful. So I wanna zone this only that one so that the rest can be a little bit nicer. And then down here we're also going to have the medium density along that road. I'm first of all starting for the inner part. We can still go to the outside later. Same goes here. There's a big one. Oh, that one is not meant to be. I'm just going to change that back into low residential, which is all the way in here. That's all the low residential stuff we're going to have, because mostly you need most of these in here. Let's put a couple of UK buildings down here. I think they fit in still very well. Also, Eastern Europe mixed in a little bit can fit. To see how the buildings look, actually. I think they can fit in very well indeed, and we're going to use the European ones for most of the rest of these little streets here. And then we are going to have our commercial zones, and I'm not sure if the Eastern Europe look good, but I'm willing to plop. Oh wait, that one. Oh, you can still have some in these streets. Why not? Let's have some smaller ones in there as well. Just give the people a little bit of commercial also to these zones. It doesn't even need to be everywhere, you know. We can also just put it in these areas and then have some wonderful medium buildings here too. This is again low residential. Before I forget. So just like that, and then that's fine. There you go. That is commercial. We can also put some more commercial stuff in here, just so that is connected. And this is meant to be medium again. Let's have a look if these will be filled all in, but it doesn't matter. So that looks good for the moment. That looks really, really damn good. We can also have some medium ones here too. That looks all good. Let's see what happens if we get the people coming in now, because this is what we want to do. There is a lack of everything in it over here. So you don't have water, you don't have... Is that because of the street not carrying the goods to you? Let's have a quick look. So energy-wise... Oh, the street is not connected. This is simply why we're going to fix this. Hold down. I'm going to fix this for you. So that should be fixed now. Should be fixed. Now it is fixed. Okay. So lots of buildings coming in. Let's speed this up. We get some new development points. 7, that is. We can go for a recycling center. But we can also go for college, which we need skilled laborers as well. So let's go for university too. And then, yeah, no, that's a little bit too much for now. We've got 4 points left that could be invested into... That's too much. Water, nope, that's too much. Anything else we can have here? A gas power plant. Let's unlock that one too. And 2 more points. Is that enough for bigger roundabouts? It is. And also parking areas. Ah, that's too little. Okay, parking areas will then be next up. Okay, so demand is all the way down, which is great. That means we get people in. How about our overall income? That's okay. 6,000 minus is okay. I had a... Just to be completely honest with you, I had a first playthrough, which, as you can see in loading, is called Mülheim an dem Rudi, which was a good name, but for whatever reason, the save didn't work, and I absolutely did save the game. So, Rudy attempt 2, we are just doing this together now. I'm going to save this right now. It does fit in this spot very nicely indeed. So, I'm going to plop this here. That's a very good spot, to be honest. So, we're going to place this down, and is there any upgrade in here? Not really, but that looks certainly like a proper Ruhrgebiet hospital. I mean, the cars don't look like. I think we can even... Yeah, that's that. I remember we could switch the color of the cars. So let's make them like some proper German cars. And then we have some more orange. Paste. We could actually... You know what's fun? We could actually use one of those and make this the one... Maybe this one over here. Just fully orange, right? It's like, yeah, that's that. And we make this one kind of as if this is another variant. There we have that. That looks also kind of German to us. That's nice. Can we give them names, by the way? Ambulance. Oh, that's the... We can use that. The orange toot-toot. That's the orange toot-toot. Nice. We can have that one now working. Cool. That's pretty damn good. Okay, but they're all in need of some ambulances. We cannot really get an upgrade to this building. So maybe I'm going to also... Let's slow down a little as we have a growing demand of low density. So we have a medical clinic we could also put in, right? We can put it right next to it. So that's kind of cool. And then we can upgrade this with an extension, which might fit in here and here. Okay, so I'm willing to give them medical treatment is very important, specifically in the Ruhrgebiet, you know. Gosh, it's starting to look really good. But there's a lot of space wasted over here. A lot of space wasted. This is not good. We do not want wasted space. So can I drag a little road through here? I'm willing to have a road go here. And then just use all that wasted space here. That is fine. That is very fine indeed. Look at this. Sweet. And I'm going to really use some of all these wasted spaces down here. Because that seems to just really give us more space available. We can also... Look, there's also some space we did not use. So I'm just going to bring in some more pathways over here. That's just really nice. Really, really nice. There's also enough space we could fill in. So I'm going to drag another one here. And the low demand, for the low density demand is obvious, but... we could, you know what, we could, this is like a weird path going in here, which I'm willing to connect back again here, but then we are also going to have a low density in, this is kind of a low density as well. I quite like this, you know, usually I could fill all this in because that's just how it is in the Ruhrgebiet. They're living quite next to the industrial zones anyways, because the whole Ruhrgebiet is industrial zone anyways, so yeah. Okay, that's pretty sick. We can also kind of get some of the roundabouts and make them somewhat bigger. How about squeezing them in here? At some point, I will merge this all into one big roundabout, I guess. But we can make these bigger, but then they are painful for the... Yeah, whatever. But this is just how it is in Germany. This is just how it is, okay? So let's plop in a bit of low density as well. I'm wondering also, this is the... Was that the Eastern Europe one? Eastern Europe pack. Uh-huh. And this is more like the... What's that? That's the normal one. EU housing. Is this the... this is definitely the UK one, right? User-created content. UK pack. Okay. In fact, I do think the UK pack resembles mostly... Yeah, it looks really a lot like the Ruhrgebiet. This is the EU... I mean, those work too, I guess. But they look a lot better. I guess I'm willing to go with the UK ones. Semi-detached housing... What's that? Terraced household. I think this one is the best to go for. So I'm just going to fill all the spaces in here. The demand is quite high, so we can just fill it all in here. Like, let's give them all the room they need. And let's fill in the low density. If someone wants to live there, well, go ahead, I guess. I'm just gonna give them all the chances to live there. Okay, so we actually declined a little bit the demand for that one. It's starting to look really good. But what I wanted to do actually is schools, because we don't have any schools. We don't have anything for like going into proper education, which is something we should be focusing on. And this is why. Hold on. Why is this not on ground level? There you go. This is why I'm dragging that all out. Can I go to ground level, please? Why is this not on the ground? Help me to figure that out. I want to be just on the ground. Okay, so that is absolutely it. And then we're just going to bring this over. So, I guess we are going to have this as our wonderful area for education. And I'm going to have one street going in here, and now we are going to play. Oh my god, what? Oh my god, French elementary school, German elementary school. That is absolutely what we need. You come into that corner. Is that also city elementary school, European elementary school? Was there is like a small high school, European German high school? I am absolutely willing to have those two right next to each other, because that is going to be our wonderful educational area. So we're going to upgrade the school right away, and the same goes for the high school. Eventually we'll got to figure out a better way of getting them around, but alright, I should do something like this, I guess. I decided to make like a little cut because you guys didn't need to see what I'm doing over here. Let's quickly check if that actually solves the issue. I have not tested, but it hopefully should just kind of iron itself out. I did also disable the traffic lights in the hopes of it fixing itself, but maybe it doesn't. Let's have a look. Is there any more traffic lights available? Maybe I have to put some traffic lights in, I don't know, because they seemingly all need to go. Where do they want to go? But I think it just kind of fixes it a little bit. I also figured, and I didn't know, you can see this is some trees over here. I did not know that you can now use some of the trees and then you can upgrade some streets with it, which is super impressive that this works. It may have worked earlier already, but then I didn't notice, because I mean, you can really quickly make trees and stuff look good, and you can also choose which kind of age you want to have. So you can also disable them all, and then they will always be the smallest trees, and they will grow over time. But you can also say they should all be grown fully to just customize your city. I mean, I knew that you can do this with a mod, but now it's in game as well, which is pretty good. So yeah, that's really nice. That's really nice. I'm not sure if that has massive impact to your city, but yeah. So there's also a real influx of cars coming. Oh my god, look at that. My area where I thought it's gonna be worrying, this area down here, is not really having any kind of issues. But this highway is starting to be crazy. So, progression panel. Can I purchase another tile already? Which would be interesting to see. And some policies, development points.
Program to bring you a special news bulletin.
Storm spotters have reported a tornado currently heading towards the city. Extreme wind conditions are expected. All citizens are advised to seek shelter at this time.
Yeah, no, sure. Okay, where's that kind of thing? Oh boy, really? Really? Should have deactivated that. Yeah, I mean, maybe it kind of solves our traffic issue, I guess. It seems like gone. Oh, phew. We were lucky. It was relatively rare, but you know, the more people had smartphones and stuff, they will be available, and then just able to take some photos, I guess. Also, the hearse kind of thing is still annoying to me. I guess we need to put down more hospitals. So we are going to. That's so expensive. The medical clinic. Maybe we can build another one. I like still the looks of it, so I'm willing to plop another one down over here. And then hopefully this is going to help us do. So normally the capacity of this one we place down here needs to be then full, right? Oh, the capacity? No, it's actually... Why is it like... I don't really get why... They should be all on the road, right? But they're not. And so, I mean... I'm kind of confused to why that is. I mean, this is the typical kind of Cities Skylines issue I have, because I should definitely have enough kind of, you know, clinical support. Let's see how the money works, by the way. Oh boy, we make a ginormous plus at the moment. How is energy and energy production is okay-ish, not great. Water is great, so we don't really have too much problem with this one. Garbage processing status is bad, very, very bad, but the landfill availability is good. But we need more garbage collection, that says. So I am willing to put down some of the development points to go and purchase a recycling center. And also internet... Yeah, let's get both in, and then we're gonna solve our issue hopefully here. We can have a new road that is giving us a bit more space to put these things down. I remember that the recycling center is rather big. Was that the case? I think it is. Yeah, it's rather enormous. I think there is really... I mean, we can place it here. They have gone a little bit overboard. I don't know, I just wanted to do a couple of little things, and all of a sudden I was just like zooming away, which is a pretty damn good sign. But you can see the demand for everything is kind of ridiculous. But as you can also tell, I have gone beyond and above with all this kind of stuff over here. So what we're going to do, and then we are about to end the episode already. We are, as you can see, money-wise, we are not, like, we're doing pretty damn good on the plus side of things, but we are not doing too well on the overall money on the bank account thing. So what we are going to do is we are zoning new stuff, and we are building a new network, because I have placed down a couple of nice tram sections, and as you can see over here, there is a tram line going on that wonderful road over here. So we can place a couple of those wonderful tram points all the way through our town. I just made this whole thing cross really completely go all the way around. So I'm going to place all these down. As you can see, it's following basically a very, very long road. Okay, both lines are basically set in. That should be all good. So hold on, we should be able to see them. So we've got one line. Wait, hold on. Why is that not? Okay, well, this is the city line. Let's just call it city line, and we're gonna do another one later. Not sure. I just did one. I'm not sure why it didn't fit in. Hold on. Can we just maybe do this real quick together? So I made this in turquoise. You decide how you basically call that thing. Maybe I was stupid, but I just brought that one around here and then just let that go into the opposite direction. However, where's the other? There's another one. There's another one. There is another one. There is another one. There is the other one. And then I had this just go all the way around. And then let's have a look. So here goes that. And now we switch to the other side around. You know, so there's another place. There is another place. There is another place. There is another place. There is another place. And then we should just bring... Does this not work? Oh yeah, now it did work. Okay, well, whatever. I'm not sure why that was a problem in the first place, but now we have the second line. This is the city line opposite. There you go. Also, why is the radio just like not playing music anymore? Can I just have the next one, please? Just go for the next one. There you go. There's some cool music in there. Also a couple of new radio stations I haven't heard before, which is kind of cool. Not gonna lie. Okay, so apparently this is all good so far. It's kind of cool. Also, we have the, like, this is the highway endpoint, which means we only have one highway connection to here. And I'm wondering if we at some point should bring this over to seemingly another outside connection, which is here. We also have like a kind of a real cool port of some sort, you know? Okay, but we got to zone out. Now we have to zone a couple of things. Let's begin with some industrial stuff. This is the easiest. We can just really grab that and build this down here, because that's going to be very much what we need. Also, oh, you know what we... Oh boy, I did a huge mistake. I'm just seeing. There's like nowhere you can access this one. Oh wait, or exit this one. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me just quickly fix that. We could use the highway connection, by the way. It doesn't really matter. But we need a roundabout, first of all. And then we're just going to connect this up here. Fine, and now all of these are connected. That one obviously looks ugly as hell, so we could try to just bring this a little bit further outward. There you have that. That's a bit better. This is not nice, but it's a bit better. And yeah, these connections over here need to be just adjusted a little, you know. It's kind of cool that you can do this with Move It, honestly. It's just helping quite a bit. So if we go right, oh my god. Can I, if that's the case, can I raise them slightly? Oh, I can. Look at that. This is awesome. So we just get above these little edges here because they look kind of ugly, didn't they? But, okay, well, now I have to move this thing out a little bit because otherwise it's just on the tram track over there, which I technically don't want to have. Okay, so that is in, going out, going. There we have the tram. It's kind of a nice connection over here anyways. That's cool. Okay, no, that's fine. Now we have the connection done. The rest should be fine. Let's speed up and then about to make this an end at some point. So the demand of everything else is going down. We still have a crazy commercial demand, which we can fill in. We don't really have too much. Is that mixed housing? No, I don't want to have mixed. I want to have fully Eastern European. We can have a bit of this here. There's not really too much green. Well, actually here we can put some more commercial as well. And some EU commercials here too. It's not really like the customers high low. Well, actually they will come in eventually. And down here there will also be a lot of customers. We can have another one here. So the demand is going down too. Now that is fine. That should solve some of the issues. There are obviously some new traffic jams arising and then just being created here and there, which I will fix eventually. Somehow these roads over here would need to be increased in its size and stuff as well. But I do hope with growing the city that will help with the public transport as well. Can we also see our trams going through here? There's one. Look at that. There's one tram line. It's looking really good, guys. I would love to see where this is going if you grow the city and if you detail this a bit more, if it's just because of the busyness of the town or what exactly is the issue. Yeah, I don't know. There's used to be an issue. It's the first patch from Iceflake Studios, so I would not worry too much, I assume. Yeah, but eventually, guys, this is one of the bigger issues, I guess, in the game. But oh my god, there's just like that one tower emerging here. But yeah, like I will be trying to continue this a bit and see where this is going, also depending on what the feedback is going to be on this one. But a lot of other things is really cool. I mean, we didn't have it too much in use to recolor some of the buildings, but honestly, some of these buildings over here, I already saw them, and I was like, I like the buildings quite a lot, but what I do really not like is this stellar white over here. So what I would love to do is just like give this a proper beige, you know? And wait, hold on, is that like, we gotta find out which color that is, to be honest. So let's see what color is actually causing this. What are we even changing from the color? Customization, is that like, do we change anything over here, or is this like oh wait, hold on, what are we changing? I'm like, which color are we changing right now? Is that, did we change the window color over here? Is that like saying the window? But it's, yeah, it is changing the window most likely. It's not in particular what I wanted to, but it's okay. So this is the roof. No, it's not. Okay, so some of the indicators are definitely wrong, but this is the color I was talking about. So this is going to be like a rough beige, like making it almost like not as distinct white. This is the most important thing. And then about the roof, I guess this is the roof then, is it? Is it the roof? It's not really the roof, is not right. No, this is some sort of window frame again. Okay. Oh, these were the other palettes I just changed, right? Did I change the houses then? I recolored with those? It doesn't matter. I could then just create a new palette for that one and then import that on this one. See, this wood, yeah, it doesn't change it from the backside though. It's just the front? Well, I guess this has to be fixed, huh? Again, it's the first patch, so I don't mind too much, but this needs to be fixed. I think the good news is I've not expected this to be so flawless and nice. Also, I don't know what exactly has been happening over the time, but it all looks a lot more nice. I'm not even sure if we have bicycles going around, but the whole city looks a little bit more alive. You can zoom in way closer now, which is really cool. But getting up close is, again, getting me a bit of a feeling like, you know, there is something lacking, and I guess it's still the colorfulness of it. I think there's a lot more that can be improved, I assume. You know, I think this is definitely something I would love to be seeing improved. It's not really up to the standards that you would have expected it to be. Still not. Let's see where this is going in the future. Zooming out obviously makes things look really cool again, but that used to be the case with Cities 1 as well, so... yeah, what am I going to say? I'm rambling, right? So let's end this over here, guys. This is our little town. Still has no name. I mean, I called it Mülam an der Rudi, but it's not really meant to be the final name. So if you got a final name, let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to now hear my comment afterwards from the editing studio live, you gotta switch the audio layer to the second audio layer. It potentially is going to be American English then instead of normal English. And then you will have my commentary, which is then going to tell you a couple of things that I noticed during gameplay, and I noticed me doing wrong maybe and whatnot, and explaining a little bit what this is doing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. Have a wonderful time. I talk to you in the next one, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you want to. Well, have a good time and bye!